Afternoon. I'm Admiral Brad Cooper, the commander of United States Central Command. In this capacity, I lead U.S. military forces in the Middle East. I'm here to provide you an update on Operation Epic Fury, now in our 4th day of execution. First, I'd like to express my deepest condolences to the families and teammates of the extraordinary Americans who've been killed in action, and I'd also like to extend our prayers for a speedy recovery to the wounded. Yesterday, you heard from Secretary Hegseth and the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Today, I'd like to give you an operational update on where we are and provide you with some key facts. By order of the President of the United States and the Secretary of War, our military in the Middle East is undertaking an unprecedented operation to eliminate Iran's ability to threaten Americans, as they've been doing for nearly half a century. Having spent more than 36 years in the military, I could not be prouder of America's sons and daughters in uniform who are answering the call. More than 50,000 troops, 200 fighters, 2 aircraft carriers, and bombers from the United States are participating in this operation, and more capability is on the way. These forces bring a massive amount of firepower, representing the largest buildup by the U.S. in the Middle East in a generation. In the opening hours of Operation Epic Fury, U.S. Central Command forces, together with Israel, delivered overwhelming and unprecedented strikes into Iran. Many of you may remember the shock and awe strikes of 2003. The first 24 hours of this operation were nearly double the scale, and we continue with 24/7 strikes into Iran from seabed to space and cyberspace. Now, we're less than 100 hours into this operation, and we've already struck nearly 2,000 targets with more than 2,000 munitions. We have severely degraded Iran's air defenses and destroyed hundreds of Iran's ballistic missiles, launchers, and drones. And in simple terms, we're focused on shooting all the things that can shoot at us. Our B-2 bombers and B-1 bombers have executed uncontested surgical strikes against multiple missile facilities deep inside Iran. And then just last night, a B-52 bomber force struck ballistic missile and command and control posts. We are also sinking the Iranian Navy, the entire Navy. Thus far, we've destroyed 17 Iranian ships, including the most operational Iranian submarine that now has a hole in its side. For decades, the Iranian regime has harassed international shipping. Today, there's not a single Iranian ship underway in the Arabian Gulf, Strait of Hormuz, or Gulf of Oman, and we will not stop. We will continue to conduct dynamic targeting operations. We're hunting Iran's last remaining mobile ballistic missile launchers to eliminate what I would characterize as their lingering launch capability. Now, in retaliation, the Iranian regime has launched over 500 ballistic missiles and over 2,000 drones. To be clear, Iran is indiscriminately targeting civilians as they launch these missiles and drones. You've seen it on TV. The evidence is crystal clear and overwhelming. Having said this, we are seeing Iran's ability to hit us and our partners is declining, while our combat power, on the other hand, is building. And my overall operational assessment is that we are ahead of our game plan. Along the way, every single branch of our military is achieving unprecedented success. I'll talk about just a few of them. Our naval forces have deployed multiple waves of cruise missiles, obliterating Iranian command and control and air defense capabilities. From 2 aircraft carrier strike groups, we're squeezing Iran from the sea and have them backed into their own ports. U.S. air forces are doing what they do best, executing a high volume of airstrikes right into Iran. Operationally, the 2 most powerful air forces in the world, the U.S. and Israel, are dominating the skies of the world's largest state sponsor of terror. Our U.S. Army soldiers are defending ourselves and our partners, and in a historic first, the U.S. Army fired long-range precision strike missiles called PrSMs in combat, providing an unrivaled deep strike capability. Also, for the first time, U.S. Central Command's drone task force, called Task Force Scorpion Strike, launched countless one-way attack drones, achieving massive effects. I'd like to point out these drones were originally an Iranian design. We took them back to America, made them better, and fired them right back at Iran. I just could not be prouder of our men and women in uniform, leveraging innovation to create dilemmas for the enemy. There is no adversary too determined, no mission too difficult for the great soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Guardians, and Coast Guardsmen that make up the most powerful military the world has ever seen. Our military objectives are crystal clear, and our people are executing an immensely complex and historic mission with relentless lethality, conviction, and professionalism. And we've just begun. but I have the utmost confidence that we, alongside our partners, will absolutely achieve our military objectives. To all our warriors, Godspeed. Thanks so much.
We begin this hour, though, with the latest developments in the Middle East as America and Israel wage war on Iran. Let's go live to Mimi Becker in Tel Aviv. Mimi, good morning.
Good morning, David. This conflict is spreading and spreading quickly, with Lebanon now being hit by Israel as Israel and Hezbollah exchange blows. The city of Beirut, multiple strikes have been seen there, with Lebanon officials now saying that more than 50 people have been killed. Israel is also continuing to strike Iran, with Tehran hit multiple times today, but Iran is still fighting back. In the city of Beersheba here, about an hour and a half south of Tel Aviv, a missile hit just 100 metres from an apartment block. Several people were injured there, but luckily no one was killed. And we've also seen today that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has visited the site of a strike that hit yesterday that killed 9 people. That was a school, a synagogue and a bomb shelter that was struck.
The word of God said, if they gather and not in my name, they shall surely scatter. That is what just happened to the Supreme Council gathering meeting of the Iranian leaders. They were gathered in their Supreme Council to choose their new leader, the remaining of the leadership, the left, that is what was left of the leadership of Iran. They all gathered, planning, doing meeting to choose a new supreme leader. That was how Israeli bomb, big one, oh, maybe not even atomic bomb, they just go through for there. They just throw for their center, boom! Everybody just die. Everybody is gone. There is no more leader in Iran. No more info gathering in Iran. It is finished. It is finished. This is what we have long been waiting for. They say they want to fight war. It's not by having ballistic missiles. It's not by having iron drone. It's by using it with wisdom. Look at the way Israel is just taking them out, just like chicken. They have suspended their airspace. They have taken over it. And now, America and Israel have superiority over their airspace. What is left of Iran? That's why they are throwing missiles everywhere out of frustration. They are frustrated. Just imagine. All their leaders, they say they are up to 80-something. All of them gone. All of them gone. But before we continue, let's listen to this breaking news coming up now from Fox Television House. Yes, let's listen to it.
Just outside of Tel Aviv. Good morning, Trey.
Yeah, Bill, Dana, good morning. I do want to just start with some breaking news here before I show you the scene of one of these cluster munition impacts just outside of Tel Aviv. But I'm told by a senior Israeli official that the Israelis just struck the Supreme Council gathering where the Iranians were meeting to choose a new supreme leader. This is a significant development and again speaks to the Israeli intelligence about this war. They just targeted the meeting in Tehran where what's left of the leadership was gathering to choose a new supreme leader. The Iranians are continuing their attacks against Israel. Right now we are in the community of
what is left of the leadership to choose a new supreme leader has been destroyed by the bomb of Israel. That is how it works. This is what thing they can fight the children of God. You cannot fight the children of God. God has given them wisdom. God has given them knowledge. God has given them understanding.
This breaking news on Iran, if you are just tuning in, putting this back up on your screen here as Israeli forces struck an Iranian Supreme Council gathering today as the group was meeting to choose a successor to the late Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. That's according to a senior Israeli official to Fox News. And we're also hearing from Fox News' Trey Yingst reporting this update this morning, saying the move, quote, speaks to the Israeli intelligence about this war, going on to say they just targeted the meeting in Tehran where what's left of the leadership was gathering to choose a new supreme leader. That's according to Trey Yingst. We do know the U.S. and Israel killed 49 of Iran's most senior leaders in the opening salvo of Operation Epic Fury on Saturday morning, leaving Iran's military fractured and leaderless. But the death of the supreme leader after almost 37 years in power is raising questions about Iran's future, and the beginnings of this complex succession process began to take shape the morning after Khamenei's killing in an airstrike campaign by the United States and Israel. As outlined in its constitution, Iran on Sunday formed a council to assume leadership duties to govern the country. And though the Leadership Council will govern in the interim, an 88-member panel called the Assembly of Experts must, as soon as possible, pick a new supreme leader under Iranian law. So we did want to share this breaking news here with you. Once again, the latest out of Iran, as we're learning, Israeli forces struck an Iranian Supreme Council gathering on Tuesday as the group was meeting to choose a successor to the late Ayatollah. We'll continue to follow this here for you on Live Now from Fox.
If they not be mumu, the same strategy where they use to kill Una Ayatollah supreme leader. The same strategy they use to kill if they not be mumu. Why must people gather in this time? Why must you gather? You don't have intelligence. You don't have anything to protect you. You want to gather. Well, you know that your gathering, look, Israel is watching you like this. Israel has been watching. Israel know where they do their meeting. Israel know where they do everything. Israel has been watching them for a very long time, oh. For years, Israel has been watching their movement for years. Israel know even up to where they park their cars. If they are going to meeting, Israel know. The news, I just saw the Israel know everything about Iran. Israel has been monitoring them for years. Before the American CIA, that was even before Donald Trump came into power. Israel has been monitoring their movements for years. He just needs someone to join him, to finish them up. But he has everything it takes to finish them, but he needs someone to join him to finish them up. Thank God Donald Trump just won. That was the best gift that God gave to Israel. The best friend of Israel, Donald Trump. He just won election. Israel just happy said, this is the opportunity. This is the opportunity. This opportunity must not pass us by. This is the right time. This is the opportunity. And they used it well. Just look at them. Just look at them. I'm even hearing that they are even up to 80-something of them that was in that meeting. The other day, when they strike where Ayatollah and the gang, they were about almost 48 people. This one are 80-something of them. Meaning all of them are gone. Because the total leaders were about 100 and some. They are gone now. Which one is remaining? It is war. You know, if you tell your opponent you want to fight in war. Yeah. Why they go gather? Why must they gather? Must they gather in this terrible time, this critical time? Serve them right. They have to stay away from children of God. They have to stay away from... This one has taught China, Russia, a big lesson. They cannot even come to the defense of Iran. They can't even come to the defense of even BRICS nation. Iran is part of BRICS nation. Where is BRICS? Where is BRICS? South Africa. Where is South Africa, India, Brazil, China, North Korea, Russia? They're all in BRICS. Then they say that if you fight one and you fight all, they are fighting Iran now. Men are come and come defend Iran now. Just look at them. Just look at them. Making noise without no wisdom. They say China, now they shake. If they shake, if they drive all the military, they rechange in commanders. You think America is like you people? Serve them right.
We begin this hour, though, with the latest developments in the Middle East as America and Israel wage war on Iran. Let's go live to Mimi Becker in Tel Aviv. Mimi, good morning.
Good morning, David. This conflict is spreading and spreading quickly, with Lebanon now being hit by Israel as Israel and Hezbollah exchange blows. The city of Beirut, multiple strikes have been seen there, with Lebanon officials now saying that more than 50 people have been killed. Israel is also continuing to strike Iran, with Tehran hit multiple times today. But Iran is still fighting back. In the city of Beersheba here, about an hour and a half south of Tel Aviv, a missile hit just 100 metres from an apartment block. Several people were injured there, but luckily no one was killed. And we've also seen today that Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has visited the site of a strike that hit yesterday that killed 9 people. That was a school, a synagogue and a bomb shelter that was struck.